Hello viewers and welcome back to the channel. Apologies up front for such a long time between drinks, but I promise I have a really good excuse. So while I managed to put over 1,000 kilometers on the rocket in just 4 weeks and had the first service completed, about 3 weeks after that I slipped and fell at work, shattering my elbow. So that took some time and titanium to sort, and it was only a few weeks ago that I was able to effectively ride again. So this video is a less ambitious episode 2 than was originally anticipated, but will still give you some more insight into what it's like to ride, what it's like to live with, plus I'll give you a quick rundown of what I've done to the bike since I got it. There will be speed, legal I'm pretty sure, there will be wildlife, and there will be mods. I'll also give you a quick look at a project bike I picked up, and the cars I intend to modify as time allows. So sit back and relax, and if you enjoy it, leave me a comment, thumb me a like, and subscribe to see more content as I release it. Thanks.
Anyway, this is the first group ride out since I broke the old arm. So got a few of the lads behind us and Will up front. We're going to go around and do the Yuriara loop because it's been horrible for a week and we've just been let out of lockdown. And we're actually allowed to go places, which is, you know, good. And the week has been pretty wet and wild and horrible with gales up and down the coast. So we've kind of got a dumping here. So yeah, nice day, 20 degrees, well, 18 and a half if you look at the instruments. But yeah, bit of wind. So I just wait for. So we seem to have a fair bit of traffic on this route today. A whole bunch of people glad to get out. There's a few riverside picnic areas along this way. So not surprised if people decide they want to get a bit of time with family and friends. So yeah, we've kind of made the most of it. Here's one of the picnic areas here, the East Reserve. So yeah, top gear pull, it doesn't care what gear. So with Will a little bit ahead, we can just go like this. And then Will's not a little bit ahead. This is just, whoa. That was a snake. Hopefully none of the other guys got anywhere near it.
So it wasn't until I watched this footage back that I realised that the snake was actually turning back towards me and there was only a bee's dick between me and it anyway. So yeah, Will's on an MT10, which is not a slow bike, but yeah, he don't get away. Right about now we come to our next wildlife encounter. Pay attention and see if you can spot the emus. Yes, for our friends overseas, that is how we say it. It is emu, it is not emu.
We're all here. That's an emu. You can see that I've been able to turn my other GoPro on and off just with the handlebar controls. Very handy. I mean, you don't just want to record hours of boring footage looking at my face. You know when the bits of road are going to be interesting enough. So, quite the day. You've seen learner drivers and whoa, dirty bits of road and snakes and emus. Welcome to Australia. Getting a handle on making sure you're getting all of your kit sorted and controllable and you're getting the right footage, like all of this. Yeah, it's a bit new to me. I do have some other footage that I want to take for you guys. Specifically, I've got a drone that takes really good 4K footage that I've had for a few years and I've taken a bunch of good stuff with. So for other people and vehicles and bikes and stuff, it's a bit hard to be the drone pilot and the rocket pilot, so I've got to get a drone pilot friend of mine to come and help me take some decent drone footage.
And now, time for more elevator music!
Like, comment, subscribe.
So fourth gear at this pace is it's the first gear of the 6 where there's no limit to the throttle opening. So if you're in the torque zone, it just gets up and boogies. And remember, with a 2.5 litre engine and 221 Newton meters, where 80% of that's available from idle, the torque zone is kind of everything, all of it. It is a very different animal to how the power delivery works on a sport bike or, you know, even a cruiser. So it's just so much fun. And there was the policeman. It would appear the guy's got a bit more of a head start on me when I was getting the GoPro set up than I thought. Or the whole time they were following Will and I before they were bored. Or when I turn left to come back the way we came, they turn right. Oh no, I was going to have a drama catching them, but it did take a little bit. Thought I must be getting soft in my old age. But at least the codder's not chunks of dirt now. Good to know for next time. Might not be my guys. Thought there'd be more of them. Pretty sure they are though. So you saw how the lead rider braked into that corner. The one advantage of having such a big capacity engine is the engine braking is pretty high, especially as it weighs as much as it does. So I just back off and the front wheel just dives into the tarmac without any brakes. Water on road. Dirt on road, a little squirm. But again, another advantage of such big rubber contact patches is the fact that you can handle a bit of dirt on the road, and even if it does a little wiggle, it grips back pretty quick because there's so much rubber on the ground, even at the front.
So that concludes the ride portion of the video. Now you'll get to watch me stick on some tank pads, have a stab at tyre lettering, and ramble on about my other projects. Don't say you haven't been warned. Okay, so this morning I'm going to put the tank pads on the bike and I'm going to probably put some red lettering on the Avon tyres. The Avons were made in the UK for this bike. As you can see, they've got a fairly prominent Union Jack logo at each end of the word. So I'm going to, I've seen one guy do it in white tyre paint, but I'm going to try red tyre paint to go with the rest of the red on the bike, and we'll see how that looks. I'm hoping that I don't have to scrape it off because it looks rubbish. But anyway, we'll know shortly. So I've got a clay bar for tank just to get any kind of residue off, and measure it up, tape it, and get that pad put on both sides. So let's get into that. Cut the paper on these so that it's quite close to the edge. I'll do that and come back. Ready to go. Once you've done that, you've got it stuck where you want it stuck. Go. Last one. Okay, so I've taken measurements on the other side, which, because I didn't have a pencil, I've used my shop tablet to show how far from here and how far from here and how far from here I need to be. So on the back here it's set too far back, too low. It needs to come forward and go up a bit. You know what? I think she looks good. All right. Let us move on. Okay, so this is probably going to be hard to see, so I'll just show you bits of it. I've used the old isopropyl alcohol to clean the tyre. You don't want any of your tyre black or anything on it when you're doing paint on rubber, so I'd not ever tyre black these anyway, so that was okay, but I did foolishly use a dirty rag when I cleaned it and put more dirt on it, so I've had 2 goes at it. So the paint that I'm using is basically a red paint marker that's oil based and will paint on anything, and I bought it on Amazon and it was designed for tyres, so we're going to give that a shot. So hold on a sec. Okay guys, well I have decided a couple of things. One, that red is too pink to go with all the other types of red I have on here. And secondly, that paint, despite all my best efforts of blotching it and trying to get it to thicken up, it's just too thin no matter how much I shake it. So it doesn't, as you can see on the E, it's just too patchy. So well, that might have been a fun idea. I think I'm going to give that a miss. So we'll stick with rim tape and tank pads and the other bits and pieces we've done to the bike. But I think the tyres can stay without coloured lettering. Maybe Avon will do us all a favour and stamp it with coloured lettering. That would be cool. All right, and another time. Thanks. Off with the alcohol and get rid of it. So I mentioned I had a project bike, and it's a KTM 625 SXC from about 06-07, and I picked it up fairly cheaply from Facebook Marketplace, and it runs and it rides. It does have a few little things. It's got a fair bit of tappet noise in the head, so I think the valve clearances are off, so I have to adjust those. There is an oil leak where they have the combined gear shift and kickstarter, and you can probably see that bolt, it doesn't have a captive head like it's supposed to, missing a couple of washers. It also tends to leak fuel from the float bowl when the fuel is left on and the engine's not running, so I think that's a float adjustment issue. The owner did say a whole bunch of things like, oh, it's had all that work done, it's had kits through it. But anyway, I still have in my little kit here a carbon kit to go through it. I have some bark busters, they're actual KTM ones. I have a new fascia for the dash because it's kind of messed up. I've got some Oxford heated grips in there.
There's a whole bunch of bits and pieces that will bring this bike back from the brink, and I got it with a 17 or 18 litre Safari tank, as well as the pannier racks and the back rack. The tyres are in pretty good shape. The brakes, I did get new back brake pads because they're a bit worn, but the front ones are all right. So yeah, this will be some content up on the channel over the coming weeks and months. There are, some great plastics like this. These side ones are really good, but then the airbox cover's pretty ratty. This back piece could do with a bit of restoration, but again, the radiator guards are good and the rest of it's in pretty good shape. So yeah, this whether I put one of the more radical full sticker kits on it or not is yet to be determined, but you guys can sort of weigh in on that in the comments. Do you want it to be radical or not? But like I said, they don't make these big thumpers anymore because, if you want to go large, you can get a parallel twin and go an adventure bike, or you can get a smaller, like a 400 single, and it's about as powerful as these big ones used to be. So yeah, coming along.
So in the remainder of this video, I'll just mention some car projects that are coming up on the channel. Firstly, like my bikes, my cars have something about them that is unique or not often seen. The Volkswagen EOS is unique in that it was the only 4-seat hardtop convertible with a functional sunroof. While VW contracted Italian company Webasto to design and build the roof, they got a commercial agreement in place to stop them creating a similar product for other manufacturers. So while you will see folding hardtops with glass panels, a functioning sunroof was not in any other car, at least not the EOS price point in the mass market. This facelifted EOS is basically built on a Mark 6 Golf, and many parts are straight swap, especially the engine and drivetrain. My car has the same 155 kilowatt 2-litre engine as the GTI, and I've already put red GTI brake calipers and a GTI steering wheel with paddles. I've also swapped the stereo for a CarPlay-compatible VW unit from newer models and swapped the standard 17-inch wheels for 18-inch Omanite wheels from a Passat R36. I plan a Stage 1 tune, a catback exhaust upgrade, and swap out the dampers with Bilsteins and put in IBAC 1-inch lowering springs. Our SUV is a 2016 Audi SQ5 TDI. This car was groundbreaking here on its release in 2013, as Australia had never experienced a performance diesel SUV before. With 235 kilowatts and 650 torques, it's a very capable bus. It can cruise all day sipping less than 7 litres of diesel per 100 k's, getting over 1,000 k's on a tank, or you can give it the beans and it drives like a heavy sports car. As mine is as stock as a rock, I have a few projects in mind. A basic tune will unleash 275 kilowatts and nearly 800 torques. A throttle controller will liven up the drive-by-wire response. Coilovers and larger wheels will help the stance. And a Kooftech sound booster will let me program the noise the sound actuators make in the exhausts. All on the cards. Coming up in episode 3, due any day now, I'll be walking you through the electronics package on the Rocket 3, all the screens, all the capabilities, controlling GoPros, and I'll also show you how I've de-ghettoed my helmet audio setup. Stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks very much.